to ask you that, what would be your one Sitara advice or, suggestion or guidance for parents. And here I'm actually categorizing parents in three different groups. One is parents of a newborn between 0 to 12 months, parents of a toddler, which is 1 to 3 years, and parents for a child who's just started going to school, in the age group of 3 to 5.
A book that's from the 1950s, and it's called Child, Family and Outside World, and it's a book that we use in our work a lot. But in that, the author, who was a child psychiatrist in the UK for about 40 years, writes about the first time mother being at the receiving end of so much advice. The nurse is saying something, your mother is saying something, your mother-in-law is saying something, the neighbor is saying something, all well-intentioned, but it's confusing you. So when you said that about reels, I was like, this is just the 2024 version of that, which was the 1940s. And his advice is, if the mother-father is a unit, can bear the anxiety of this uncertainty, this not knowing, this new place that they're in with their firstborn, newborn, then actually whatever they provide to their baby will be good enough. Notice I said good enough, which means the graph is not even. There'll be some ups, there'll be some downs, but it's in the range of good enough. So the most important thing for the Sitara advice for the parents of newborns is to not freak out. Because when you are not freaking out, you can listen to your emotional response to your baby. The mother, the father have just been born as well. So they are newborn parents. And so this is a very high pressure situation. Okay. But out of the three of you, the adults, have history of capacity. When you do not freak out, you have all of that can kick in. When we freak out, then our nervous system short circuits, and then all our existing faculties are unavailable to us. So if you can stay calm and allow yourself to listen to yourself and keep out the noise, then you will be good enough. Early mother, father, baby unit are actually designed to be a cocoon. And if you can delegate outside world things to outside other people who are all well-meaning and wanting to help, right? Somebody else can buy the groceries, somebody else can take care of the bills, somebody else can talk to the landlord, somebody else can whatever, and you can be cocooned, then your response to your baby will be good enough. But if you have to do all that also, then it's very hard.
So it's in a way like all the help that a new parent needs with the child is not with the child, it's about the other things that can be outsourced.
Yeah, because you can't outsource that.
And moving on to the toddler parents, where the trouble starts.
Toddlers are such fun. So your 1 to 3 year old is just like sparks are flying out of their head on a daily basis. Like everything is new. They can now move, they can now pick up things, they can now make sounds. This is just so exciting.
Yeah.
For them.
Yeah.
For you, it can be exhausting.
Yeah.
I can't pick one.
Give us one, Nupur. We need
it. I want to say, make time for it.
Okay.
And enjoy this interaction. You will always be playing catch up. Between your 1 year old and your 3 year old are even just those 2 years, the baby changes so much.
Yeah.
This is a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Wear your seatbelt, enjoy the ride.
Awesome. And
when I say you'll always be playing catch up, like you think you figured out your kid,
Change.
and next month they're different.
Yeah.
So they like this food, now they don't want to look at it even. I remember my 2 year old going through this phase where she only wanted to eat white foods.
White, okay.
White. So gobi, pasta, white rice, milk,
yeah,
dahi.
Yeah.
What else is white?
Yeah. And how did you figure that out though?
observation.
Trial.
Everything else was being tossed.
Yeah.
So it had to be just be very plain, basically.
Got it.
Yeah. So there was this whole plain phase.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then it changed. So
You put in the effort to figure it out and
yes,
change the rules.
yes, and then they changed the rules.
Yeah.
Yes. So you'll always be playing catch up.
Got it.
This was a hard one.
Yeah.
For the 3 to 5s.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a little easier because I thought about it. These dolls are
Yeah.
a very essential piece of equipment in my center, in my
Yeah.
clinic, which is that inside every 5-year-old is a 4-year-old. Inside
Okay.
every 4-year-old is a 3-year-old.
Hmm.
Inside every 3-year-old is a little one. So your 5-year-old is not operating at age 5
Hmm.
all the time. You send your 5-year-old to kindergarten. The one who comes back is not 5.
Hmm.
What you get back is 2.
Yeah.
So the 2-year-old is tired and hungry and overstimulated and hot and sweaty. What are you expecting? Hi mom, I had such a great day. You're going to get cranky,
Yeah.
grumpy, refuses to eat lunch, and probably shrieking. 5-year-old.
So it's not the same child you send to school that comes back.
Yes, they shrunk on the way back.
Yeah.
Yes. The same one, 5 years old, very coordinated, very articulate, I don't know how.
Hmm.
Anyway, they can. But then they get viral fever. Then they only want to sit in your godi and they want you to feed them and they will only sleep if you hold them and put them to bed. So they just became like one.
Yeah.
Carry me.
Yeah.
So the bit of advice for parents of 5-year-olds, 3 to 5-year-olds is that inside your 5-year-old
Hmm.
are all the previous ages.
Yeah.
So you're not dealing with 5 all the time.
Yeah.
That's the outermost of their capacity.
Yeah.
And then you,
Hmm.
mother or father, a special
Yeah.
person, are going to get the privilege
Yeah.
of seeing all the little ones inside.
I mean, when you put it into context like that, it just makes so much sense.
So that's the Sitara advice for
Yeah.
the 3 to 5s.